Hey, it's Andre, and it is time, the season finale, the final episode of Loki Season 1. Let's get into it. Spoiler alert, of course, there's going to be spoilers talking about Loki, so if you haven't seen the episode, check out the finale, then come back here. You've been warned, spoilers. I really loved how this episode started. During the Marvel Studios logo, all these quotes and lines were being said, various Avengers and characters. It was funny because I think they actually had them matched up to when the characters showed up in the logo, you would hear something from them. You heard from Captain America, Captain Marvel, Thor, Black Panther, so many voices, and they started getting all jumbled up towards the end. And then you heard from some of the greatest Avengers out there, Nelson Mandela, Maya Angelou. I was like, whoa, Neil Armstrong talking, oh, is he an Avenger? Yeah, there's just all these quotes. You hear some music too. They even throw Vision at the end. I was like, oh, okay. As you're looking at this weird shape of planets and timeline, and then it all comes back to Loki and Sylvie right in front of that castle. Love that shot of them walking up to the castle, by the way. That was a very nice use of money there. They're inside the castle, they're hanging out, and all of a sudden, hey y'all! Yeah, we get a jump scare from Miss Minutes. I told you, do not trust her. I don't care if she has the sweet sounding voice of the sweet Tara Strong. I don't trust Miss Minutes. And Miss Minutes reveals that, yeah, she's doing that whole TVA thing, but what she's really doing is she's working for someone that she refers to as He Who Remains. It's in the comics. Look it up, or someone's probably already made a video explaining the whole thing. And Miss Minutes is like, look, y'all, I got the perfect deal for you. I talked to the banker. This is like Deal or No Deal all of a sudden. She's like, I talked to He Who Remains, and he's like, if you go back now, if you take this deal, I'll leave y'all alone. You can have both Lokis on the timeline. Sylvie, you can have all your good memories back. And ooh, Loki, have I got a deal for you. We'll let you beat the Avengers in New York. We'll let you kill Thanos. We'll let you have all the Infinity Stones. We'll give you the throne of Asgard. You can have it all. Just don't go any further. And Loki and Sylvie were thinking about it while Howie Mandel was up in the corner like, deal or no deal. Loki and Sylvie looked at each other. We're like, we've been doing this for like 6 episodes. We got to do this. Sorry, no deal. Keep walking. Miss Minutes like, I warned him. Miss Minutes also not helping out Ravonna as well. She asked for some files last time. Here's your files. And Ravonna's like, these ain't the files I asked for. And Miss Minutes was like, well, them the files you getting because he thinks that those are files you need. And Ravonna's like, who? Miss Minutes like, you know. Ravonna's like, I gotta go somewhere. She's like packing her stuff up. She's like, I gotta go travel and figure out who's controlling all this. Right before she has that reunion with Mobius, she was feeling bad too because she was actually just thinking about Mobius before, how she made him go away, but Mobius was like, I'm back. And I love that Mobius was like, you betrayed me. And Ravonna was like, no, you betrayed me. We had this whole thing running and you had to go let a couple Lokis get to your head and now you want to change everything. And then Mobius is like, no, you betrayed me. The TVA ain't real. We're all variants. We got to take care of this so I can get my jet ski. Ravonna's like, look, I pruned you once. I'll prune you again. She knocked him down and she was about to do it. And she's like, I got bigger things to do. You all right, Mobius? I'm out. I got to search for things. And Mobius is like, all right, but just so you know, we know your secret. And she was like, what secret? So there's been this pin. We see a quick shot of Ohio in 2018 where it's revealed that Ravonna, that's where she came from. She was like a vice principal or a principal or something at a school. So Hunter B-15 took another TVA agent there and was like, see, look, lies. So we get to Loki and Sylvie meeting who is behind this whole thing. And in my mind, I was like, it's got to be another Loki. It's got to be like another variant Loki that has taken all this over. But I was like, it could be some other things. But I was like, it can't be Kang. Like, they're not going to do Kang the Conqueror. Like, I know that they already announced that Jonathan Majors is going to be playing Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. But I was like, they're not going to drop him here. It was kind of like the Mephisto thing. It's like, yeah, that's what we want to joke about and say it's going to happen. But we all know it's not going to happen. It totally happened. I was like, what? When I was watching the show and they opened that elevator and Jonathan Major was sitting there, I was like, they did it. They freaking did it. After all this Mephisto and X-Men movie Quicksilver and all this craziness that we were crying wolf once again, talking about, oh, it's going to be Kang. It's going to be Kang. It was freaking Kang. Well, they ain't call him Kang. They call him He Who Remains. But he was like, I go by many names. Some have called me a ruler. Others have called me a conqueror. I was like, dude, you should have just looked at the camera when you said that. A conqueror. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I was speechless. I was like, wow. they were right this time. After all that Mephisto stuff, it was like, this time, you got it. But when you're thinking Kang the Conqueror, you're probably thinking like, I am Kang the Conqueror. But this dude was like wacky and weird and offbeat and kind of like giddy. He just kind of has this interesting demeanor to him. He's really excited to see Loki and Sylvie. He's just kind of not being all like Thanos or Killmonger or anything. He's just kind of like, ooh, yeah, I control time. I know everything. Jumping on desk and being very like extra, you know what I mean? And that's when I was like, oh, this dude's gonna kill everybody. Like, I'm scared of this guy. Because when everyone else ever shows up in the MCU as a villain, they're always like, I am a villain. I need to let you know I'm a villain. I will constantly remind you that I am a villain. But this dude is all like, ooh, hey, ooh, look at this. Let me tell you my backstory. I'm so glad to see you. I'm like, yeah, that dude's gonna kill everybody. Because he's too confident. When you acting like you're not even a villain, I mean, he does say at one point, hey, we're all villains here. We all did some wrong stuff. But the way that he is presenting himself, where he is not trying to act like he needs to have this, I'm just like, yeah, dude. But also, he does say he ain't the only one. He tells his story to Loki and Sylvie. He's like, one of his variants figured out the whole thing about the multiverse, and other variants of him found out around the same time. So they basically just had a cookout. They all got together, had some drinks, had some food, shared their technology, shared their stories, learned how to travel through the multiverse. Everything was cool. But then them cousins from the other side of the track showed up. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody was cool. But then that one cousin showed up and was like, yeah, I don't want to share. I just want to rule everything. And then another one was like, well, hey, if he's going to rule everything, then so am I. And then there was an all-out multiverse war because they all started fighting with each other. So our He Who Remains was like, I ain't about this. So he found out that one of the variants knew about this beast, Eliath, eater of things, and was like, all right, I'm going to be chill with him. I'm going to learn how to control him with some tests, have him work on my side. That's going to help me win this multiverse war. And then I'm just going to isolate our timeline. We're just going to put this over here and be like, y'all ain't with us. So back off. So that's what he tells Loki and Sylvie. And he's like, so now here's where we got to talk a little bit, because I know y'all here to kill me, but I'm just going to say this. You got two options. Option one, I'm getting old. Like, he was all like, I know I don't look it, but I'm old. I'm like, wow, man, even in the multiverse, black don't crack. I'm getting old. I can't do this forever. You want to rule, so I will give it to both of you. You get the control of the timeline. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to retire. That's the better option, in his opinion, because option two, he's like, y'all can kill me. You can do it. But there are worse than me out there. There are worse versions of me. And if you kill me, one of them gonna probably step up and be like, all right, that timeline's open. Let's just destroy everything. So he's just like, okay, you do what you want to do. Basically, he already knew to a certain point what Loki and Sylvie was going to do, because Sylvie even tried to stab him a couple times. He was able to jump out of the way. He's like, I know what you're going to do because I got the future. He basically got a leaked script of the world. I'm like, is there any Spider-Man in there? He got a leaked script of what's going to happen, but there was a certain point where he's like, ooh, we hit the threshold. This is as far as I got in my script. So he knew the future, but not the entire future. So basically, he knew everything up to the point where this decision had to be made. And he's like, after this, it's on y'all. Take over, rule, we all stay safe, even though you know you're not giving a bunch of people free will. TVA still goes along. That fantasy keeps remaining. Or you kill me and good luck with whatever comes next. And this is where Loki and Sylvie have problems, because Loki's all like, I don't know if I 100% trust this dude, but if he's right, what's going to happen after killing him is probably going to be much worse. It's better to just believe him and let him be than to try to kill him. Sylvia's like, I have been doing this my entire life. I have waited for this moment. I'm killing this dude. And Loki's like, I don't know if we can. And Sylvia's like, oh, you just want to control everything. You just want to follow him so you can get the throne. He's like, no, it's about the throne. She's like, oh, I thought I could trust you. He's like, no, you can't trust me. She's like, no, I don't trust anybody. Well, Sylvie can't trust anybody. Loki can't be trusted. Loki wants to leave the dude alone. Sylvie wants to kill him. So they got to fight. Oh, I was like, no. And I loved He Who Remains just sitting watching the whole thing. He's like, oh, this is fascinating. Had his popcorn and everything. I'm like, this is great. Let's see what's going on here. This is the part I don't know. And I love this fight too, because they fight with their daggers, they fight with their punches and kicks. They even use their magic a couple times. making people disappear, reappear. Loki even at one point gets in front of Sylvie right before she's about to stab home dude. I don't want to hurt you. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt you. I care about you. I care about this. I'm a changed man, Sylvie. And then he gets close. And I'm like, oh, y'all about to do this? Them lips keep coming closer. And then we get a Loki Sylvie kiss. They go from fighting to kissing. What? They fight. They kiss, they fight and kiss, fight, kiss, kiss, kiss. The Loki and Sylvie show. Boom. But, oh, Sylvie. Sylvie's like, nah, just a diversion. Took old home dude's temp pad and just was like, boop, get out of here, Loki. And she looks over at the dude like, ain't no one to protect you now. And he's just like, okay. And I'm like, don't do it, Sylvie. I think he's telling the truth. And I love too, she was like, are you going to beg? He's like, it's on you. Whatever. So she stabs him. And the last thing he says, right before he dies, he's like, see you soon. And I'm like, oh, he tried to warn us. Oh. And of course, when she stabbed him, they went outside the window of his place. And that multiverse timeline that was in his window was all like, it's a multiverse everywhere. Get all these alternate universes out of here. Where's my spray can? Get out of here, all these alternate universes. Gone somewhere. It's a infestation of them. The multiverse is here, y'all. I am very intrigued. Like, I was all like, oh, these Spider-Man rumors, they just getting ridiculous. This ain't happening. You ain't gonna have Doc Ock and Green Goblins and Electros. I mean, this is all some rumors. But now, man, I think Toby ain't showing up, but I don't know now, man. You know, Venom was looking at that timeline like, I believe we are now a part of this. I believe we are. I mean, Deadpool showed up with Korg online this week. It's already started. So Loki is pushed back to the TVA and he's sad. He's like, I kissed this woman and then she threw me away. That's all right. I got a man too. Where my man Mobius at? So he runs for Mobius. He's like, Mobius. He finds Mobius in Hunter B-15. He's like, Mobius, we saw it. We saw the dude. We saw the guy that's running everything. Sylvie killed him and things are going to get bad. The timeline is messed up. Something really dangerous is coming. And Mobius is like, oh, hey, calm down. Hey, calm down. You're an analyst, right? What's your name? What division are you from? Who are you? And then Hunter B-15 is like, hey, we need to get somebody on the ground here. We got a man going crazy here. And Mobius still is like, who are you? Where are you from? Mobius don't know him. And then Loki looks up and he sees a statue that used to be a timekeeper, but now it's my dude. It's he who remains. It's Kang. Just like, yeah. I want the statue to just turn at some point and Loki just go, I tried to tell you. So what I gather from this is that Loki is not in the timeline that he's been in before. He's in a brand new timeline, one where this dude literally is the ruler, and the Mobius he just ran into is not the Mobius that he's been dealing with before. He's on a different timeline. Oh, shoot. And the show ends. Well, it ends for now. In the after credits, they let us know this is just season 1. This is a big cliffhanger, but a season 2 is coming. I don't know when. I've heard some people say like a couple of years, which this show, we went back to old school network TV with the way this thing cliffhanged. This was like some classic Lost. We got to go back to the Island Kate season finale stuff right here. So it's kind of weird. It's like it kind of finished the story, but at the same time, there is still some questions to be had and some things to understand. Where is Loki at right now? What is Sylvie doing now that she killed home dude? He who remains. Who else is remaining to come down? Which Mobius is this? Where's the other Mobius? Where did Ravonna go off to? Who is behind Miss Minutes? I guess we'll find out in season 2. Man, this is very fascinating because I'm like, what does this mean now? Like, does this mean that this is now going to connect these shows to the future movies? Because if you saw Black Widow, it's coming the other way around as well. You know, like I feel like someone from Black Widow might be showing up in a future show too. You know what I'm talking about if you saw the movie. You know, you saw the after credits. You know what I'm talking about. I'm wondering if they're going to be doing a thing now where some of these characters will be showing up in movies and if you just watch the movies, they'll give you enough to understand what's going on. But if you're a Disney Plus watcher, then it's like, well, okay, I know what the backstory of this is. Kind of like how people are now, where they're like, well, if you read the comics, you know about this character, that character. I think that's what's going to happen. Is like you'll see Kang the Conqueror show up in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and the people that got Disney Plus subscriptions were like, oh, I know what's up. I saw that dude in Loki. I see what you're doing, Feige. It's all connected. So I hope you had fun with it with me. Thanks for watching. I guess season 2 will happen at some point. I don't know. What did you think of Loki? Do you feel like this was a good, satisfactory season finale, even though it's going to lead to more? Or do you wish it was more like complete, and then season 2 would have been like a completely different story? Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you in a future video. I love you like a play cousin. Subscribe. Bye.